According to neuroscience, I am left brain dominant. This is true because I think rationally and plan things out thoroughly when I'm going out with friends and planning a prom group. I like to be in control of any situation, and people usually want me to be the one in charge. As a left-brainer, I like to be organized, take multiple-choice tests, and prefer to be the leader of a group. Also, I respond to verbal instructions and problem-solve by logically and sequentially looking at details when I'm making an important decision. For example, even though I am not a senior yet, ever since August, I have had a list of possible college choices along with the positive and negative aspects of each school. In the future, in order to strengthen my right brain hemisphere, I can be more fluid and spontaneous and solve problems with hunches instead of facts. Focused coping style tells me that I primarily aim at relieving or regulating the emotional impact of a stressful situation and not directly changing a threatening or harmful stressor. In my life, coping includes distracting myself with TV, music, or friends, letting off steam to other people, ignoring the problem in the hopes that it'll go away, and expecting the worst out of a situation. For example, after hearing the news of my parents' divorce, I cope by hanging out with my friends, reading books, listening to music, and watching TV. My overall goal was to get away from everything in the hope of forgetting it all. Emotion-focused coping has its negative aspects because it delays the person dealing with the problem and eventually causes more stress for them. Knowing this, I hope in the future I take control of the situation and learn more information to confront the stressor right then and there. Even though my coping style is emotion-focused, my personality is very much type A. I like to get things done, and they have to be done in a certain way and on time. I hate being late, even if it's only 5 minutes. If I'm meeting someone and they are late, I get very upset because to me it seems like I'm not important enough to them. I am also usually impatient, and I hate when people waste my time. Little things tend to make me irritated, especially if someone doesn't go according to plan. In addition, I also take on too many things. For example, I took 3 AP classes this year, volunteered every Sunday at my church, babysat 3 times a week every week, and also had to deal with family drama. And even though I survived, I realized that I have to be more laid back and not stress over the little things. As a baby, my parents said that I was very difficult. I cried a lot, slept irregularly, and I was not shy and had a tendency to talk a lot. I was also demanding a lot of attention as a baby and toddler. I was told that after the birth of my brother, I didn't like the attention that was no longer on me, and that one day I was eating spaghetti and decided to throw it all over the walls to get my parents' attention off my brother and onto me. However, when it came to new situations, I was a slow-to-warm-up baby. It took me a while to adapt to new situations and people. This continues to be true in my adolescent years. I am shy at first, but once you get to know me, I am very outgoing and loud. Ask my friends or family members, and they will tell you. According to Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, I have linguistic and verbal intelligence, visual intelligence, and interpersonal intelligence. This makes sense because I am good with words and in AP English. I learn best when I can see something up front to understand how it works. For example, PowerPoints and demos help me understand the concept easier. I am also good at communicating and can usually give good advice. I believe that Gardner's theory best describes intelligence because everyone is different, which means everyone learns differently. Thruststone's intelligence doesn't fit me because he focuses more on problems and mathematical aspects, which I lack. Although I do not match up with all of Freud's defense mechanisms, some do go along with my personality. First, I displace my anger on someone or something less threatening than me. When I am mad at my mom, for example, I take my anger out of my dog and yell at her if she's barking too loud. Second, I rationalize my true feelings. After my parents' divorce, people would ask me how I was doing, and I would tell them that I was doing okay because they didn't have to hear my parents argue all the time. In reality, I wasn't doing so well and really wanted people to stop asking if I was fine. Third, I failed to acknowledge the existence of anxiety-provoking information. I denied my parents' divorce for months before I realized what was really going on. It still sometimes doesn't feel like a reality. If I were to talk to Carl Jung, he would tell me that I am type A personality, as I mentioned before. He would also tell me that I am an extrovert, which means I am active, expressive, and social. He would let me know that I am a feeler because I am sensitive, empathetic, and tend to search for harmony. He would show me that I am a judger since I am time-conscious, organized, and productive. Finally, Carl Jung would tell me that I am a sensor. I am practical and literal, I trust past experiences, and have good common sense. Carl Jung's neo-Freudian perspective analyzes me fairly well. I hate being disorganized. My locker and bedroom are usually fairly organized. I tend to rely on past experiences to make decisions on my future, too. I am the firstborn child in my family. I have a younger brother who is 3.5 years younger than me. According to Alfred Adler, being the firstborn means being organized, studious, and supportive, being too pressured, loyal, and conscientious. It also means being a perfectionist, being moody, critical, stubborn, skeptical, and tense. Adler also said that after the birth of the second child, the firstborn often turns to their father for support. This is true for me because I became very close with my dad after my brother was born. Adler encourages firstborns to take on fewer activities, say no to things you are not ready for, and not to apologize for everything you do wrong. Adler's theory does relate to my life because sometimes I feel pressured to set a good example for my younger brother, whether it's for school or being a good person. Sometimes the pressure of being a good role model for my brother is too much, other times I can handle it. I really enjoyed the group therapy activity we did in class. It was a time for everyone to say something good about someone else and also make themselves feel good. Personally, after receiving compliments from everyone, my self-esteem and confidence rose. It overcame my fear of expression, and I realized how easy it is to give a compliment when put on the spot. My mom always told me that without motivation, you will never accomplish anything. I found this to be especially true junior year. Something motivates everyone, but according to motivation theories, I am motivated by achievement or incentives. For example, in order to get through this year, my personal motivation was summer. This incentive worked really well during the winter months, but as it quickly got warmer, it was hard to tell myself that summer was around the corner, when in fact it was right outside and it was only April. Also, when I achieve something like get a good grade on a hard test or complete a long project, I tend to be more motivated because I feel like I can achieve the impossible.